1-0 to start the season. Tweet of the day was that the Browns have never tweeted 1-0 to start the season because Twitter did not exist since the Browns have started the season with a win. Incredible game, scary game where the Browns' thoughts entered our heads. But we're on to see the New York Jets come visit us in Cleveland. We saw the Elf at the middle of the field today, and it's going to be a great game against the Jets. But this is our news segment, Believe in the Browns, which we do every single week. At least most of us do, Drew. But
Some more than others, yeah.
We're going to give you the top 5 reasons to believe in the Browns this Sunday. So, Eric, I'm going to start off with you here with reason number 1.
Yeah, and that's going to be that the Browns are going to be able to run to set things up. I don't envision another 39 carries the way they had again last Sunday, but I'm looking to see if they can get around that 5.6 yards per carry average and eclipsing 200 yards last week. One of the things they struggle with, ironically, was the play action game, which usually a successful running start sets that up. They went 1 for 5 with 1 yard. It was a touchdown to Kareem Hunt, but not too solid. I think Robert Saleh's defense is going to try to sell out to stop the run initially, and I think that's going to give Jacoby Brissett time to hopefully pinpoint some passes, because I'm just going to say he's a little rusty, so he can work on some throws, and he's going to find some of his targets, and maybe even Anthony Schwartz. He had a catch last week, which was great. So that being said, I mean, they have a tremendous running attack. You saw that it was on full display. I think, yeah, teams are going to overcompensate, and I think that's going to manifest itself in other ways to move the ball down the field and hopefully in the end zone.
All right. It's going to be a really strong running attack if we're going to get Schwartz to have a huge game here. Drew, let's go on to number 2.
Yeah, number 2 is Myles Garrett, the best player in the NFL. I said it. I say that because he was graded as the best player in the NFL week 1, 94.4 overall grade, 2 sacks, and was just an absolute beast. And he gets a pair of New Jersey Jets offensive tackles, the natural disasters here, George Fant and Max Mitchell. Those are the starting tackles, left and right, respectively, for your New Jersey Jets, who we get here in week 2. Neither one of them can block Myles Garrett, full stop. So that's going to be fun to watch. I'm going to enjoy seeing what New Jersey tries to do to compensate and to block Myles Garrett, because those 2 guys aren't it. They're not going to be able to stop him, plain and simple. There's going to have to be all kinds of schematic things that they try to do, which should open the way for the rest of that defense. I hope there's some sort of exotic pressure schemes that they dream up, because everybody else will just about have to be one-on-one by almost necessity. So that's what I'm interested in watching. Myles Garrett is my reason why the Cleveland Browns will be 2-0 to start a season for the first time in my memory.
Best in the NFL, likely going to have the most sacks in Browns history right around the corner. Eric, let's go to you next year with reason number 3.
Yeah. In addition to Myles Garrett, the 10 other guys on defense, I think they took a great step forward in the first half and kind of took a step back in the second half, but I think they're going to get back on track this week against the Jets. The Jets came off a performance with 83 total rushing yards, and Joe Flacco in 2022 threw the ball 59 times, not in 2012 when he had more of a lively arm. And also had a QBR of 15.4. So look, you see what the Browns did last week. They limited a better quarterback than Joe Flacco to a uneven game outside of 2 lapses in judgment. And I will give them the benefit of the doubt and call that lapses in judgment, as well as a fluke run with the fumble Ruski play to Christian McCaffrey. The defense was lights out last week. And like I said, I believe the Panthers have a much more dynamic offense than the New Jersey Jets. So I expect Joe Woods to kind of clean things up. I know guys were antsy, guys were excited. They wanted to make plays, kind of wanted to, point fingers and do stuff at number 6 last week. So I'm hoping they were getting that out of their system and just play football. And they know they're playmakers, that they can make the stops, but don't go outside of your comfort zone to try to, make that highlight reel. Just do your job. So I think Stefanski is going to keep the whole team more emotionally stable this week. We really have no type of rivalry or anything you could even put with the Jets the way we did last week. So I think that's going to be a good even keel kind of thing for the team on Sunday. So I expect the defense to do what is expected to kind of just limit the offense. I don't see a sack total like we did against the Bears last year, but the way that they kind of just shut the Bears down offensively is what I'm hopefully wanting to see, and hopefully we'll see this Sunday.
Joe Flacco threw the ball a ton last weekend, was showing off his lack of mobility. So
His Lacko.
So it's
we cooking tonight.
It's going to be, if not from Myles Garrett, hopefully from many different directions, the pressure on Flacco here. But let's get on to number 4. Drew, is this a trap game, or why are you believing in the Browns here?
I mean, there's a possibility that it is, and to our millions and millions of New Jersey, North Jersey, and New York City followers, like let's acknowledge that the Jets had themselves a pretty good draft, from last year, and they have some good young players on this team: Breece Hall, Garrett Wilson, Elijah Moore, Sauce Gardner. And their defense has some decent vets as well. A guy that we're all familiar with from his time in Baltimore, C.J. Mosley, but they also have Quan Alexander, Quincy Wilson. I mean, this is a defense that forced the Ravens to punt 6 times. I think that this team has some talent and they're getting better. But when University of Delaware's finest, Joe Flacco, attempts 59 passes, there's no way that sort of a game plan is going to work against Myles Garrett and the boys. It's just not going to happen. So I'm interested to see that. I think the Jets are fundamentally pretty bad, especially when they have their backup quarterback going. So that's sort of where I'm coming from. It's a possibility of a trap game, sure, but I don't think you're going to get that with the Browns being at home and being in front of the freshly painted crowd with, I want to say that was Dink the Clown that we put out there at midfield. It's what it looked like to me. I don't know where Doink was. I guess he was unavailable for his portrait that day. But aside from the goofy elf, I think this is going to be a pretty good game for the Cleveland Browns. I think this is a team that Lamar B had 3 touchdowns against. They are susceptible to some big plays, and I'm hoping that the Browns can hit some of those. There were 3 or 4 of them wide open against Carolina, and they were unfortunately not able to connect on a single one. I'm hoping we can improve on that Gopher golden sombrero performance from Jacoby Brissett. He doesn't have to be perfect, but you've got to be able to hit the plays when they're schemed wide open down the field. If they can do that, I don't think they'll have a whole lot of trouble with this team.
Let me get my elf hat on here for reason number 5.
Hideous.
Hey, if Arthur B didn't like it, I love it.
Well, we finished this last game with a huge reason why the Browns won, and that was Cade York. Just an incredible addition to the team, a missing piece, but a really incredible rookie performance in the history of the Browns. I think we all have really great memories tied to Phil Dawson and how he was such the corner piece to many losing seasons. But Phil, a couple stats here. Cade York did go 4 for 4, 2 extra points. He is tied for most points in the NFL right now. Phil Dawson, he was 8 of 12 his entire rookie season. So we're halfway there, Cade York, to catch up with Phil Dawson. Phil Dawson didn't kick a 50-yarder in his first 3 seasons. So the incredible career that Phil Dawson has Cade York, a very fast start, and he's going to put some points on the board. Hopefully more touchdowns this week. But we will see. We'll definitely be believing in the Browns this Sunday.